Captain's log. I'll be brief for now because I need some sleep. War averted, panic over, no alerts, no nothing, we're safe for now. I will continue this log in the morning. Captain out. Captain's log. Go to sleep, it's been 4 hours. Basically, right, the aliens and I had a meeting. It started very fast, and I got to meet the 2 different aliens. The first were the Bolgs. They are big metal fish guys swimming in portable tanks with arms and legs. When I say metal fish, I mean the fish. Yes, they are inside a metal mechanical suit, but the fish themselves are made of different metals of varying colours, like copper, gold, nickel, that sort of thing. They are the ones from quasi-space. The leader, Fleo, was very friendly to me. The fact that he was called the Grand Inquisitor had me a bit wary, but apparently it's because the Bolgs like to ask questions. Not for any kind of religious importance. I'm pretty sure still. Looked like he was doing some sort of religious gesture. But as the conversation started going, and we chatted more, it turns out what he thought was a religious gesture, a middle finger, was because they got a hold of some films from several 100 years ago, and they thought it meant a lot to us, not them. Which it does, but maybe not right now. The second ones, the Mingalic, are the sub-dimensional ones. Honestly, the Mingalic look like giant jelly things. If I weren't crapping myself, I would have grabbed a spoon to taste it. Why did I say that? So I'm exhausted. To me, the Mingalic leader, and I hope I'm getting this right because they were also very nice to me, Gishi, was delightful in conversation. They are a race of genderless blobs that seem to reproduce by splitting in 2. I asked him if they shared a brain and they laughed, or at least wobbled merrily. Gishi is what they call a pragma, some sort of naval rank of captain or higher. I didn't really have time to properly figure out what that means. What I did learn is that the Mingalic were, if I get this right, a race that were created by another race, but that race died out due to a virus that did not infect the Mingalic. I was worried that this was just something made up to make them seem innocent, but from what I could tell, this old race discovered that they could save the Mingalic and not themselves because of the vastly different genetic code, I think is what they said. So I don't think this was a Planet of the Apes type deal. I didn't learn much else as, well, after that the meeting happening, and it was a doozy. But for now, I need some breakfast and a coffee. Back shortly. Captain's log. Had my coffee, so I'm a bit more awake. Also had a breakfast burrito. It was a full English breakfast, but in a burrito. I assume that's what that's supposed to be, right? Baked beans, hash browns, bacon, fried egg, and scrub. Doesn't matter. So, the meeting. Good gravy, was it intense. They locked, what I can only have a vague guess at, eyes, and immediately they were at each other's, again, what I assume are throats. They were demanding that I talk on both of their behalves, using me as a middleman. You know, just to be the first captain to avoid an intergalactic war. Suck that, Tim. So I was being bombarded left and right, and it was going nowhere. With words, not whatever weapons that they were using. Big rockets, maybe. Anyway, this all came to a head when I got asked by the Bolgs to tell the others to Mingalic my balls. Look, I wish I was joking. In turn, I was told turn fire with kiss my sweaty Bolg bag. Charming. What happened next was basically what I can describe as a rap battle, with both sides being said by the same person who has no rhythm. A huge mess. It got to a point where I shouted angrily at them to... Let me read the transcript. Shut your dimension-hopping asses up, you fishy and slimy freaks. Now that got their attention. I told them to settle things on a wager, which they agreed. They brought up a game, Earth Design. One of our, and this is their words, not mine, proudest traditions, apparently. The game, Twister. I'm sorry, I gotta pee, I'll be right back. That'll be the coffee. Captain's log, hopefully for the final time today. Twister. They demanded that we play it. Fishmechs and Slime Lads. Now I don't know why the Bolgs demanded the game. It really was their choice. Not the people who can stretch their body to weird places. But they did. They were down for the count from the start. No contest. So it was pretty much just me versus the Mingalic. Oh, did I forget to mention they wanted me to join to make it authentic? I think the Mingalic reckoned they had it in the bag. But I am a god at Twister. You may not believe it, listener, but this captain of the human race can stretch and contort his body more than a creature who has no real shape or form. Boom, 1 up for the human team. And afterwards, the Mingalic tried to boss the Bolgs about, but I reminded them that the winner got to order the others about. And who won? Not to gloat, but me. I told them to shake whatever hands they could and learn to live with each other. Then we got to the pub and got absolutely wardrobed. None of us could see straight. I barely remember much of it at all, but I did get to know the leaders a little. We all made friends in the end, and as it turns out, well, they looked into their jobs too. What are the chances, eh? I think this might end up being a good new start for the Mingalic and the Bobs, and might help solidify us as peace brothers in arms. Wait, isn't that a war thing? Whatever. The point is, the crisis was averted. Now I need to get some sleep. The adrenaline and coffee has finally started to wear off, so this is Captain Edward Donahue, signing out for now. Captain's log. Tim stole the last bloody jacket potato, the arse!